Hi YouTube, this is VidHead85. I'm going to talk a little bit about some news regarding New Mexico and the little flurry of marriage equality going on over there, along with Tennessee and a Tennessee church disowning a group of, or disowning a family, as well as Texas governor suckling Obamacare teat, and in Gatum we have new family. So in New Mexico, there's a flurry of going on around marriage equality and whether or not that the issuing of marriage licenses are legal or not. New Mexico has a very gender neutral marriage law, so it's anyone's guess. The New Mexico Supreme Court was also being asked to intervene to expedite a ruling on marriage equality ahead of the lower courts, but they have denied such a motion. It is also coming into the fray. New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez has said, hey, why don't we put it to a vote? Just like they put Kansas up, whether it'll be a free or slave state, to a vote. And Missouri went into Kansas, trying to other states trying to influence other states trying to influence the state is not all that new anymore. But Missouri tried to go in, kill a bunch of abolitionists, and it backfired because the state was free. But also in 1905, when they said let the people vote in New Jersey, men voted down a woman's right to vote. And if they still had that, Governor Martinez would not be able to run for office, let alone announce her candidacy. But also that is coming on the heels of while that's all in a flurry, the New Mexico Supreme Court unanimously ruled against a photographer who cited religious beliefs in refusing photography services to a lesbian couple. Elaine Huguenin, who owns Elaine Photography with her husband and is the business's principal photographer, refused to photograph the ceremony because she said it violated her religious beliefs. The court rejected that and said that that even though those are sincerely held beliefs, they have to abide by the law. Now, we will definitely see this being used, and we have seen this being used if you follow Tony Perkins and Brian Brown of NAM, to say that religious freedom will suffer if gays and lesbians are seen as married in the eyes of the law. But like the Ocean Grove case, it has to do with businesses open to the public and an anti-discrimination law, not a marriage law. None of these cases that they've ever cited has been a clear-cut case of discrimination of religious persons for conscience violations. Also, quite a while ago, New Mexico Supreme Court upheld the parentage of a non-biological mother. So I think that was also noteworthy. Now we're moving to Tennessee, where a family is devastated after an intergenerational relationship with their church came to an end. After a lesbian detective who have fought for spousal benefits, Kat Cooper, her mom Linda, who was there when the council voted to extend partnership benefits to unmarried couples, was told that she could either repent, I guess of supporting her daughter and her daughter's partner in the quest for benefits, by disowning their daughter, or leave. Now let me state that most of the repenting that needs to be done is on the part of straight Christians. And knowing that they had nothing to repent for, they chose to leave. But it was not a decision without tears. Linda's grandparents were founding members of the church and where she went most of her life. This is a sad story of using the church to abuse people who are only doing what they know how to do. Support their family. This church has engaged in spiritual abuse, and the pastor should be ashamed of himself for issuing an ultimatum to this family who looked to this body, the body of their church, as a source of fellowship and strength in time of need. Church is a place where one shouldn't be feeling like they're beat up every day because they're supporting a family member who happens to be gay. I bet disowning her is exactly what Jesus would do. Now, moving the spotlight onto Texas, Governor Rick Perry has been caught with his hands in the Obamacare jar trying to get $100 million in funds for care for individuals with special needs. I find that funny, as he would have no part of Medicaid expansion because he didn't want to be shackled to the federal government. This is also along the vein of Bobby Jindal decrying stimulus money but taking pictures with stimulus checks, and Paul Ryan, the anti-stimulus crusader himself, suckling the stimulus teat for constituents in his district. Now in Gatum, we have one surprising add to the Flaggeroonies. Wentworth Miler, who came out while declining to go to Russia for a film festival. All I remember of him was Prison Break, where he goes to jail to break his brother out and then goes after a shadowy group that framed his brother. And that's, I could be wrong, but that's what I believe the show is. And then I found out Lucas Cruikshank, who portrays Fred Figglehorn, the guy whose voice, with a voice that sounds like he sucked on a helium balloon before recording every scene of a show, who my niece likes because she watches the show. Yeah, he's gay. I know. I was surprised too. The same way I was surprised with Shaun T. Leandro Carvalho of Brazil Butt Lift. They call him the Butt Master. He really works the boom boom. Anderson Cooper, or even more surprising, Ricky Martin. Oh yeah, Raven-Symoné, or Queen Latifah. But let me say I had my suspicions after Set It Off. Yeah, that was so surprising. I had to turn around and pay somebody $100 because I didn't believe Fred was gay. So another one that kind of threw me off was Meredith Baxter. But I didn't know. I had no idea, and if I didn't really follow her much. But if Maggie Seaver, played aka Joanna Kearns, the actress, ever came out as lesbians, then I'd really be thrown for a loop. I still love her curly hair from the earlier seasons of Growing Pains. So with this, I am moving on to Queen Latifah. Actually, while looking for some pictures of her. Of all the people that I mentioned, I was surprised to find out we're gay. I found out that she's coming back to TV on September 16th. She's going to have a new talk show. Now, I was really a big fan of hers in the 90s because of the fact that I just loved her show. It was a wonderful show, and I would put her up there with Ricky Lake, who also has a new show that I'm really glad about, and I want to see some of her shows. So I wish both of them all the luck in the world. They're both older, wiser, and still one of the staples of 90s TV. So, or talk show TV rather. I'll see you later, YouTube.